And as usual, stay triggered. Pew pew.
Let's get into this really, really interesting video that we're going to cover today. So I'm going to keep doing the night guide videos that you are going to see, and I think you're going to like them. I think you'll love them, actually. So what I wanted to do for this video here is talk about, is RUDO overpowered? Now, a lot of people say he is. There's definitely people who say he's not. Let's look at him for a second and, you know, see what he's all about. So this is on a file that I got him to level 30. Didn't do a whole lot of extra grinding for items and pills and potions and all that kind of thing. So this is just kind of a natural level 30 for what I was able to get him to. 301 MP. Maybe I did eat a couple mana potions and stuff, but you can see all the all the ones I didn't eat yet. And still, you know, this is basically me just playing a game, getting to the very end, and not really doing a whole lot. So I think there probably was mostly natural growth to get him up to MP of 301. But if you want a really, really powerful character, the one thing you got to look for is essentially the attack. So right here is your attack 202, which is really, really strong. I'd have to say, once you're in the 200s, you are a beast. You are super, super powerful. You're really, really powerful. Now, really what it comes down to when you're trying to understand why RUDO is as powerful as he is because of this clean military rule, which a lot of people, well, at least I've coined CMR, which makes sense, CMR. And this is at 290 power. So, although, you know, it says power there for all that, what it's really kind of saying from the original text and from Grand Edition, all that, is potential. So potential means power here. And I know when it seems a little confusing when you're fighting because it shows you the power, it's really just saying the attack damage value. But for here, this power rating here determines not just your attack, but how much more you're going to do with the attack. So you can have, let's clear this out here. So you can essentially have 202 attack power, right? And then that's going to be a modifier with 145 power. So your attack power plus your power in some kind of calculation, which I completely forgot. I'm not very much into doing all the calculations with that. I just kind of play and I get a feel for it, which most people do. So more of a natural way of feeling about it is going to calculate into the damage. Now, an average power here would be about 100. So just a basic average power, you know, for what you're going to see here for like normal attacks, base value, you know, the OEM parts would be 100 power. Now, his white conviction is at 145, right? That is really good. But when you're seeing the CMR be at 290, you're almost 3 timesing the power of a normal attack when we look at it. Plus, it throws in the white dot, extra 3 white dot attack on top of your attack, and plus a 23% boost in accuracy. I mean, or maybe not, it might be 0.%, but either way, you're getting a lot more accuracy than you're getting from just a normal plus 14, right? So all these things together make an insanely powerful leader, right? So if I was just to kind of compare, just offhand here, we're looking at Divine Blow from this guy who is, what, level 25? He's a champion, right? At level 25 for his power being 125. I mean, the normal attack, it doesn't even come close to RUDO's basic attack. I mean, yeah, he's got a 230 maximum rush that costs him MP, right? Does give you that boost, but you have a negative net value with your accuracy. Your accuracy goes down by 4, right? And it's also a pre-move. So, I mean, if we're talking about RUDO compared to other characters, yes, his actual... and look at this, even for a level 17 ranger, we're not even talking about Treasure Hunter yet, but you just have the basic base value OEM part of 100 for a basic attack, right? I mean, right? That's just very basic. So, you know, you want to try to look at other characters, kind of compare him to other things. Let's look at, do we have a... Oh, and before we get into it, I just want to say real fast how good Selena is. I mean, even with this equipment and all that, 600 MP. Yeah, a part of it's due to equipment and all that, but I know the hit points are, well, meh. But 600 MP and 140 intelligence. 142 to be exact. Wow. I was going to make a whole extra video on Selena being super, super powerful, but I think you kind of got the point from my previous video. So I will skip over that unless you really do want to see that. I kind of wanted to compare like a paladin like Kyle to the fold. I'm trying to remember where I even put him. Let's figure this out. Look at knights here. I know I'm getting off base a little bit, but just as a comparison here, let's check this. Just humor me for a second and just listen to me for a second here. All right, so yes, we got an attack 151 here in the base stats. That's great. That's awesome. But we're gonna look at the Holy Slash. His basic attack is 130. Still doesn't even compare to RUDO. Judgment goes up to 210, which is great, but it's not 290 like CMR with RUDO. And, you know, it costs this is only +5 accuracy. Yes, you get the 3 green, or sorry, not green, the white orbs there. But I mean, even compared to it, it just doesn't stack up. You can see that even a paladin like Kyle, or even if you were going to say somebody like, not just Kyle, but somebody else, like, pretty much hard, you know, yeah, some rulers can be as good as Tim and all that, but this is the reason why people say RUDO is so overpowered. All right, so on top of this, let's go crazy and give him 3-tier boost bonus with all gold gear. Let's go ahead and do that. Can we do that? Blade of Veracity. What does that give us? Extra white orbs, extra attack. Boom. Attack's going to go up from, what was it? 202? Yeah, 202 all the way up to... Now, yes, this is going to be a little different with different pieces of gear, but this is pretty good comparison, I would have to say. This you can't take off no matter what, so he is stuck with this until the final fight. Let's put on the Forbidden Helm, extra white dots, and a heal too. So his defense gets cranked up now. Boom, 152. And we could put on pretty much anything right now. We could put on the Justice Mana Stone. Got it from Rubino. And look at the look at that. 202 all the way to 230 for attack just with that. Maybe we'll play with the Adamantine because, you know, we already have the Brigandine stuff with the Sanctity Brigandine, so we don't need another Mana Stone that gives us the Brigandine stuff again, unless we want blue dots. But, you know, I'd rather go with defense plus 10 extra defense. Now we're up to 172 defense, which is insane. And 30% magic resistance. It's like we're a super, super tank now. And we heal with the Forbidden Helm. And we got the Mana Stone's Blessing, which prevents all status effects, except weakness. And we have counter damage plus with this sword and extra white orbs. And I'm just saying, you can make this guy so devastatingly strong that you can one-shot people even without, well, not rulers, not well-established rulers, but you can one-shot some monsters and things like that with just the basic white conviction because of all these stat boosts that you can get once you max them out level 30. You're an overlord. You got the CMR stuff. He always has counter damage up, which increases the damage up to 20%. So that 20% plus the white conviction 140, so that cranks it up to what? I want to guess 165. Let me know in the comments down below if you know the exact stat number on that. But the reason people say he's just so good is because not just the CMR, which is devastating. I know it's scary as heck. His basic attack is so dang strong. And then you give him all these extra goodies here, and you just crank him up to defense of 172. I mean, that's like phenomenally high. You're barely going to be able to hurt him. And he's going to do massive damage back to you. He's near, when I played this before on the Switch, he nearly one-shotted Stella. He was doing 650 points of damage with a CMR. I think I had 700 hit points at the time. He almost killed me. Could have died. His attack and one more attack could have just taken Stella out easily in one turn. This guy is just a natural born killer. Like, he is just so dang strong. I don't even know if I have to show you some videos, but I do have a video of one-man army where he goes up against the Cerberus, or the illusion. I forgot the technical term for it, but it's the one fight you can play. Let me see what. I don't think I have it exposed, but and I totally forgot the name here. But it is a fight you do. I believe it's here. Let's see. Okay, so we got this fight. You see where it's kind of glowing, emanating that purple wave there. That's where you can quest out and fight a bunch of little characters here. So if you do a quest to Cold Hands, will be put into a battle, and that battle is up against a bunch of phantom fights. But oh, I'm sorry, the Zora Illusion. That name always escapes me, but I believe that battle is here. It's either here or here. But you fight the Zora Illusion, which essentially is three-headed, three-tailed monster. Looks like Cerberus mixed with some other, you know, Fenrir and Cerberus mixed together. And I put, and you can see I'm going to put a card right up on top. You can go click it, go watch the video, and definitely watch all the way through. I'm talking about my experience with the fight and my understanding of the character and all that, and you can see me win with RUDO, because you can level up here all the way as much as you want, quest out as much as you want until you fight the final fight over here, and get all the pills and potions and equipment you can get every single way. It took me a week and a half to do, so I put a lot of time and effort into it. I hope you appreciate that. To get RUDO maxed out at 999 attack. And it's not the strength you have to max up, because the strength determines the attack. So the strength is 1.5 points to move up, or to crank up the attack. So every time you move up a strength point, it gives you 1.5 points to move the attack up. So it's kind of approximately that. I'm not sure all the other calculations, but it's approximately that. And once you get 999 attack, you can literally just do max damage all the time. You're doing over 1,000 points of damage just with a basic hit without even Clean Military Rule. And then once you do Clean Military Rule, I think you're doing about close to, wow, what is it, 4,000 points of damage? I think it was something like that. Just check out the video. You're going to see it. It was when the game came out, before they really did any extra buffs or nerfs with some characters, which I don't think they did too much of. But this video is essentially just to tell you that with Weight Conviction, Clean Military Rule, you are just going to mop up enemies. Now, the other things that you might want to know, if you want to make him even more powerful, which most people don't do, they don't even think about half the time, is you have a couple extra options here, right? So you have God's Puppet, which inflicts poison on a single ally unit, then a 2 hex radius, so you're poisoning your own allies. So you have to remember that. Because obviously that's not the greatest thing, right? So you're like, why would I do that? Well, you basically give them a power spell. So if you don't even want to use RUDO, and you're like, he's too OP, I'm gonna not use him because, I'm not gonna, you can put him in the battle, and you could just have him do God's Puppet for another character, and then increase the other character's attack, so you could level up this other character, right? And so it increases the attack and power of the next skill, so it just makes them more powerful. So you can give them your power, but the unfortunate side effect is that you do poison them. It's a 2 hex radius, so as you see here on the left, it only goes around here. This white dot is you as RUDO. X marks the spot, and then everything surrounding that space that is glowing not my circle. My crude circle's bad. But everything that is glowing yellow there, that is the space radius you have to cast it on your friendly unit. And so that's the thing you can do. Now the other thing is draft a devotion. So if you do want to use RUDO and keep doing this crazy, crazy stuff, what this does is reduces a single adjacent ally's MP to 0. So that's adjacent. So it's right next to you. Right touching you. The hexagon that touches right next to you. That's what that means. And it is a pre-move too. And you absorb all the MP. All of their MP. So you literally just osmose, if you're used to Final Fantasy terms, it's osmosis. So you absorb all of their MP. It's like a drain spell, but for MP. You give it all to yourself, and if you already use CMR, you can do it again. So it costs you nothing to keep trading other people's MP to keep doing CMR. So you can keep the best thing I would say, bring Phoenixes because they're sturdy, they can handle this. I mean, you could bring an angel, that has MP. But then if your angel dies, then, well, you don't have all that again. You'd have to find a stone to revive it or something like that. Phoenixes are more sturdy, that you can drain their MP and they'll still survive the battle for the most part if you don't put them in too much harm's way. But that you can keep draining all your Phoenixes of MP, give it back to yourself, keep doing clean military rule, and, tell everybody to have a good day. Gold, you can do stuff like that. So I'm just saying, you can either go with, I'm going to play a passive RUDO with God's Puppet, right? Or I'm going to play an active RUDO where I am the, only single player. Now, I'll tell you right now, some people say that he's OP, but after I played this country for a while, and noting that their other characters really don't stack up against other countries, they don't have like the greatest roster of characters, I'd have to say that RUDO is a necessary evil. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like. Definitely subscribe. Help the channel grow. Please be that help, to help this information get out there. And we'll help everybody learn more about this game. If you have new interesting ideas for new videos or whatever, leave it in the comments down below.